Hey guys, it's Maine here, back again with another IE review. Just before we start the video, just remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. Join the Discord, link in the description as well if you want to join a community that's growing. A bunch of people active in there if you have any questions about the game. Pretty much anyone's active to answer any questions you may have. I also am in there sometimes to answer some questions here and there. But yeah, if you do comment below, make sure to let me know how much you've dropped on the summer event so far, since it's been out for a little bit now at the time of the posting of this video. I'm doing this, it just came out today on stream, so this is going to be for those a little bit later in the future. Just let me know how much you spent, if you spent anything, if you spent any of your free-to-play gems or something on the event or not. Yeah, just go and let me know. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump straight into the review. Today we have Milkcrate. I think at Twitch he goes by a different name. I don't know if he's actually here or not in chat. Since I did split up the stream today on two different times, so he may not be here. But he did request back in the stream. He wanted to look at drop rate and trying to get more drop rate on his characters. I imagine specifically his carry sort of characters, the DK, the Bubo, the ES, I suppose, if that applies. But you know, just trying to look at different sources of drop rate, how we can scale that, and talking about the different things there. So this is going to be relatively short review because there's not too much in terms of drop rate, but let's just go ahead and talk about how you can scale that and all the different ways you can focus on doing that later. Anyways, go jump into it. Big source of drop rate kind of early on is going to come from cards. You won't have a lot of access early game about cards, but since you're at this point in the game, kind of end progress, drop rate is going to come in the form of cards mostly. If you want pure drop rate, what it's going to be is the Emperor card at the top left is going to be the best in terms of drop rate. This Emperor card, I think the first one is drop rate. It gives you the most so far, 72%. There's also passive total drop rate from the World 5 mini-boss. Duke gives you a bunch of drop rate. The World 1 Crystal Mob gives you drop rate. Mimics gives you drop rate. Bot boxes, but generally the setup for most drop rate is going to be this. Mini Chief Spirits gives the most outside of Emperor, and then just middle cards kind of here and there. Depending on what your card set is, Bosses and Nightmares is going to trump events cards for the most part, unless you're somehow have more events cards than you do Bosses and Nightmares, which is possible, but you'll get 30% drop rate here. Obols are also going to be another great source. See if you have any. I don't know where you may have them on your characters. Looks like you have some characters here. You have kind of the optimal setup on some of these. Your obols are kind of all over the place. I don't know. You don't really have someone that's dedicated to drop rate or not. So maybe what I'd recommend is having a character that is dedicated to drop rate. I'd recommend on DK. DK generally has the best use out of drop rate at any point in the game. Silver pop obols. Then you have gold dice obols, then dementia dice obols, and sparkle dice obols. You'll see here the dementia obols you can roll up to 11%. Whenever you roll the obols and the upgrade stat here, it can go plus or minus 1%. So always try to roll it, get 1%. Ideally, you do it on like the lowest base. So pop obols drop on bronze. So you want to do the plus or minus on the bronze obols to not waste the obol fragments here. And then on the silver the silver dice obols, you want them to roll +1 there. There's also other kind of premium ways you can get drop rate as well. There's some Hyper 6 obols you can get as a circle. I think a square as well, if I'm not mistaken. The Ice Guard obol you get from random events. It gives you 9% drop rate, which is a 1% better than the Golden obol of 666s. The Hexagon, the World 5 mini-boss drops this for more drop rate. Ideally, if you have like super endgame account, you have complete pay to win, you're going to have a bunch of Hyper 6 obols kind of filling the page, and that's kind of the best way to get drop rate. But obols give you a ton. If you look at my total stat here, I'm getting almost 3x or more than 3x flat drop rate from this. 329% translates to 3.29x drop rate. Most of that's coming from the family tab, some on the personal tab. So that's definitely a great way to get your drop rate up. Okay. Apart from that, another great thing is going to be the prayer right here, Midas Minded. This gives you drop rate at the expense of max HP for monsters. You never, ever, ever want to do this on ES because your portal mobs don't necessarily drop you with a ton of stuff. They just spawn a bunch of mobs, so they don't have the rare bags. That's why ES is terrible at farming stuff, and it makes it a lot harder to get higher portal kills, so you never want drop rate on your ES. It just kind of hinders your progress. You only want ES for getting things like multi-kill and getting like the first item for mob materials, like vials farming. That's all ES excels at. If you're trying to get stuff out of a loot bag, DK is going to be your best friend. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say there is take off Might is Mine. It's terrible. The Clover Shrine as well also gives you a decent amount of drop rate. Don't forget, this is kind of passive in the background. I don't know if your level 24 is pretty good, but you can get more drop rate out of this. Just make sure you're farming on the same world for all of your characters so you have a better time of leveling this up. World 1 stamp. Okay, Golden 6's stamp. This gives you some drop rate as well. This is doubled by the lab bonus, the non-misc stamp doubler. There is also a pristine charm for non-misc stamp doubling. This would impact the drop rate stamp here. It's not a whole lot. There's diminishing returns to upgrading the stamp, but again, this is a source of drop rate. Alchemy also has a source of drop rate you can get here, dropping loads. You may be able to upgrade this bubble here and there for another % or so. I'm at 39% at level 2700. A little bit extra drop rate. Pretty easily, Trove gives you a bunch of drop rate here, getting iodized sigils. Whew. Sorry, should have blown my nose there. Yeah, the Trove right here. Emoji Veggie also indirectly gives you drop rate as well because there is a drop rate food. The Golden Cakes, which I have on my DK here, gives you drop rarity. So gold food effect would increase your drop rarity chance, especially if you put them on the beanstalk. Something, if you're very late game, you can try to get 110k golden food. Golden cakes to drop on the beanstalk gives you a ton of drop rate. Also, you can have that stack independently on your character. So you can have 110k stack on your character, 110k stack on the beanstalk. You'll be decently well off in terms of drop rate. That's very, very endgame stuff. I see you may have other things to focus on potentially in your account, so I maybe wouldn't consider doing that. But yeah, that's another source of drop rate you can try to go for. What else? What else, man? Cooking does not, but breeding, shiny pets do. There are drop rate shiny pets. You can try to get these up to 15. I would honestly recommend getting these pets the faster shiny pet level up rate first to like level 10, level 15 before you consider doing things like drop rate. But again, another source for you. Don't think there's any sailing. Sneaking, there is a pristine charm for drop rate, 1.15x drop rate. There's also a paid pack. There you go. There's also this pack right here, the Idleon Explorer. It gives you 1.20x account-wide drop rate. This is multiplicative, so any source of drop rate you get is going to get multiplied by 1.2x. Fantastic. There's also the God Shard gear. Every single one gives you drop chance. The tools, God Shard tools, give you drop chance. I believe the trap also gives you drop chance, AFK gains. The skull gives you drop chance. There's also some premium stuff, like the balling name tag gives you 40% drop rate. There is a helmet as well, I believe it gives you 10%. Luckier Lad gives you 50%. Keychains, you can get some from the gem shop, I believe, for 12% each miss slot, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the exact number, but you can try to do Party Dungeon on Tier 2 keychains and get 8 and 8 on the Relic Chains. You can get 8%, 8% with a keychain doubler that goes up to 32% total drop rate. But, you know, it's a keychain doubler. I am skipping one that's very, very important you can talk about. There is Siegebreaker as well. It gives you multiplicative drop rate. You just have to grind out Plunderous kills, which is a lot easier to do if you have V-Man unlocked, the V-Man enhancement. But Plunderous kill gives you multiplicative drop rate for all characters. You see here I have about 150,000. It's giving me about 22.22 with a level 377 of Arc Lord of the Pirates. Fantastic way to get drop rate as well. There is the Equinox buff. The Faux Jewels. Once you max this out, currently only gives you 105% drop rate, which again gets multiplied by Arc Lord of the Pirates as well as the pack, the Idleon Explorer pack. Trying to think. There's some star signs as well for drop rarity. There's 5% here. There is, I think, just 12% here, and I think that's it in terms of drop rarity. If you also level up summoning, you can get more drop rate, because the more summoning levels you have, the more effect this has. So I'm at level 100 summoning, so I'll get 1.1 to the power of 5, I believe that's how the math works, times 0.12 or something. That's how much drop rate this is providing me. And I think that's... Oh, yeah, and summoning. How can I forget summoning? Summoning gives you drop rate right here, which does scale by the merit board. Where is it? 10% larger summoning bonuses here. Scales from the artifacts in World 5. The last one, the Wind's Lantern, scales your summoning bonuses, gives you more drop rate. There's also the Pristine Charm and Sneaking. I just looked at that. That gives you higher win bonuses, which affects your drop rate. So that's really all there is in terms of source of drop rate. There's a lot of stuff. Incrementally, if you're trying to get more drop rate, Pristine Charm right here is going to give you more. Siegebreaker is going to give you a ton of drop rate as well if you can grind out Plunderous kills. I'd recommend doing them on Citrons. It's a flat map with not a lot of verticality, so your bombs that you do throw out are not going to get impacted by platforms. That's the one issue that Lanterns has, is that if you do grind out Plunderous kills, just FYI, Citrons is technically better and edges out over Lanterns. The reason I recommend Lanterns over Citrons is because you can farm out the Dark Lanterns a little bit on Siegebreaker, but because of these platforms up here, the bombs that Siegebreaker does throw out sometimes hits this platform, and that's a missed opportunity for kills, meaning that you're not effectively at 100% efficiency for spawning a Plunderous mob. So Citrons is technically faster by like a small margin, but if you want to save yourself some sanity and farm some Dark Lanterns, I'd do it over here instead. But generally, you are looking for flat platforms area, so Citrons and Lanterns are, in my opinion, the best. I don't recommend Mini Chief Spirits is because they spawn too discombobulated. They spawn too non-horizontal from each other, and so a lot of your attacks are going to miss, or they're going to be inefficient on Mini Chief Spirits, whereas Lanterns is completely flat. It's straight across. They all spawn in the same line. Citrons also all spawn in the same line. I guess you could argue the same for Multi as well. Just there's more monsters on Lanterns and Citrons, so you're better off doing those two maps as opposed to Multis. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with all those bonuses combined, it's very easy to hit like 40. Well, I say very easy, but I mean, once you get to this point in the game, it should be relatively easy for you. But you are able to hit like 40x drop rate. It's something that's attainable, and it's not terribly hard to do. Again, once you're at this stage of the game. But Siegebreaker is going to constitute a lot of bonus for your drop rate, so doing your Plunderous kill grind to at least 100k is going to give you a decent drop rate bonus. I also recommend for you specifically, if you're looking for more drop rate, get a character that's dedicated to drop rate, because you have some characters that have the skilling obols here, they have drop rate here, they have Kruk, and they have the Cheezor Hex obol, then some characters have trapping preset. You have more golden obols here, but then you have like Worship, you have silver obols here, you have this character, but then you have a Kruk Sparkle obol. You don't have a Sparkle for pop obols, it seems like. I don't know what your family tab's looking like, but it seems like it's mostly drop chance. But you probably need to focus on your obol page if you want to get more drop rate. That's probably where you're missing. Also, don't sleep on the Star Sign Doubler, the Keychain Doubler. You also have a Trophy Doubler for, again, like doubles the Luckier Lad for giving you 100% drop rate as opposed to 50%. You also have the card doublers. Make sure that your cards are positioned properly, both the top left and bottom right slots. Again, that's going to be for Emperor Obol and Mini Chief Spirits, ideally in those slots at Ruby. Is going to give you the most drop rate. And then in the middle, you're going to have things like Dupe. You're going to have... oh my god, wait, are you actively fighting something on a non-crystal mob thing? I don't... What? Okay. I have an issue with your characters. Real quick, I know most of the focus here was supposed to be on drop rate, but you have... Your card set is just weird. You have a crystal spawn chance on what seems to be an AFK fighting setup, you cannot spawn crystal mobs when you're AFK, so these two cards are completely useless. Swap them over with either multi-kill, more fighting AFK gains, or something. Yeah, I know it says it's AFK since 17 hours ago. That's why I'm pointing out he has crystal spawn chances, because it's not effective for him. Oh, Lance, you're here. Welcome, Lance. Yeah, your cards are a little whack. I'd maybe do a revision of them. If you want to kind of look at where my DK is, here are the card sets and presets that I have. Here's my AFK set. Here's my dungeon set. Here, swap over to gaming so you can see real quick. Dungeon set. My drop rate set. This is for pure drop rate. This applies to World 5, World 6 Coliseum because Orb does not work in World 5, World 6 Coliseum. So I use this when I go into it. This gives you the most drop rate. I don't have chip doubler on this character, so I get more drop rate by having the top left and bottom right chip doubler. So I probably am close to like 43 or 44x drop rate. Here's my skill efficiency setup. And crystal spawn chance. You do want drop rate when you're doing crystal spawns, so this is a nice middle ground. It still gets me to 40x drop rate. And I don't know if you caught the beginning of the stream, but Bosses and Nightmares is probably very likely going to trump Events, but Events does give you like drop rate. Bosses Nightmare also gives you drop rate. This is the same value, just this happens to be higher in Bosses and Nightmares. So get to boss grinding if you're missing some of the set. Oh, and talents. Don't forget, your warriors specifically do have gold food effect. Your events is slightly higher, then yeah, swap on events, that's fine if you want pure drop rate. Your warriors do have Hangry for Gold, which is gold food effect. Again, I mentioned gold food effect, it does scale drop rate because of the golden cakes. So if you do have it on the character, or if you have it on the beanstalk, getting more gold food bonus is going to impact your drop rate. Luck does very incrementally in very small amounts increase your drop rate. It's not that big, so I wouldn't heavily invest spending your atoms on like the luck bubble, for example, but it does give you like 0.01 every like 1,000 luck or something. I don't know what the actual math is, but yeah. Also, post office, I forgot to talk about post office, does give you drop rate as well, but you already have that maxed out, so you already know about it. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about in terms of drop rate. I mean, you have most of the stuff, it seems like. Just FYI, I know you have the keychain doubler on, but right now it's only doubling all stat percent. The keychain doubler only doubles the top keychain. It does not double the bottom keychain. Actually, I will verify that before I commit to that bit. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. So 40.55, 40.52. So yeah, it only doubles the top one. You see I'm getting more drop rate by swapping this on top. Just FYI, it only doubles the top keychain, it does not double the bottom keychain. So if you want more drop rate, double the top one. Swap your keychains, essentially is what I'm saying. Yeah, there's that. Okay. Just to add a little bit more to the review, since I have a little bit of time, let's generally go through your account and see what you're missing, and see what you should be focusing on apart from drop rate. I think drop rate's probably something you can add a little bit more to, but generally for account progression, I'd recommend trying to get multi-tool stamp up to 220. You are able to do this, because you have this sigil at iodized, so you are able to reduce the cost with 90% atom and a gilded stamp to get this to 220. You need to equip the rucksack prayer, get the star signs doubled for carry capacity. You are able to equip, or rather, have a lot of dust motes on your character to get this. Oh, there you go. Yes, multi-tool stamp will help you generally for your account progress. So use rucksack, use the star signs for carry capacity, and you should be able to fit enough dust motes to get this up to 220 with a 90% atom cost reduction and gilded stamp reduction. And then from there, spend most of your time trying to upgrade Matty Bag Stamp. So use a mix of gilded stamp, atom reduction. You should be able to get Matty Bag Stamped up to about 410 without having to worry about exploits or no stamp left behind. Crystalline stamp may be something you want to do down the line, where you are able to get this to 270, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 270 is about where you can get this up to, if you have high enough Matty Bag stamp and high enough Mason Jar stamp. Alchemy. Bubbles are looking great. Maybe get your power try 1, try 2, and try 3 up a little bit. Also, Big P does give you some more AFK gains if you do level this up to about like 1500, if I'm not mistaken. You can get like 1 to 3% extra AFK gains. It's going to help a little bit with skilling, help with fighting, you know, get you more kills. Diamond Chef may be something you want to consider since you don't have a lot of plates up to 90 yet. This may give you a little bit more edge over trying to get meals to 90, that we don't have to wait so long for no meal left behind to kick in and level these up. Also, you can probably use a few more ladles here and there for getting some meals up incrementally for some levels. Probably focus on some of the meal cooking speed ones first, so egg, corn dog, cabbage, you know, etc. And breeding. Like I mentioned, faster shiny pet level up rate first over anything else. You also are doing a good thing. Bonuses from all meals, also fantastic thing to get up. Perfect. And you have arena done. Cool. You get all artifacts at Sovereign. Have all battles done. And you have not all crops done. So farming, yeah, definitely focus on farming. You want to do some day market grinding, I see. Oh man. Yeah, it's looking rough right now. Getting all crops to 1,000, okay. I don't know if you know, but I see some crops at 10k. I don't know if that was just on accident or something, but 10k crops does not do anything. Value GMO is broken, so just go for 1k crops, move on. And I recommend trying to go back, do some more day market grinding. Try to get product doubler up to guaranteed 100%. Try to get stronger vines up to 140. Try to get nutritious soil even higher to about like 60, 70 maybe. Yeah, you just started day market grind. Perfect. You know what you're doing. So I'll not worry about this, but definitely doing day market grind. Get your crops up to 1,000. Get as much mushy seeds and glassy seeds as you can. Then do a... once you have these up to, say, like 60, 70 growth speed, 140 plus 1 crop, 100% 2x crops guaranteed, then you can do a bean reset, spend all of your points on getting 1.2x, 1.22x Evo GMO, getting about 6 to 8 speed GMO, and honestly, I'd maybe even consider getting a few points into Super GMO, because Super GMO, getting 100k crops is easier because the land regs of the value crops actually being in effect, so you can get 100k crops a lot easier than you could in the past. So Super GMO should be on your radar at some point in the future, some point soon in the future, I should say, and that'll help you get unlock a lot of your crops way faster. You'll hit this sort of skyrocket, or rather kind of snowball point in the game, where once you're able to get 100k crops, you'll see your speed really like ramp up. You'll see your evolution GMO really ramp up, and you'll be able to unlock like 160 crops within like a matter of weeks as opposed to months or years it would have been before. So good luck, man. Have a good time. I think we covered just about everything. Gave you a little cursory account overview, and I gave a lot of info about drop rate. Kind of yapped for a little bit, so it's gonna be a very different IE review than I've done in the past, talking about how important certain things of your account are. But drop rate was a big focus for you, so I gave you some advice there. So thanks for watching, YouTube. Hope this really did help you. Also, do want to link or give a plug to GriffyBit. I think he did a drop rate guide prior to some of the bonuses that World 6 did. It's still a good thing to look at. GriffyBit drop rate. He did have a great video on it. But yeah, this was 6 months ago, and it didn't really cover some of the newer things that came out, like the gold food, but it does go over different sources of drop rate, and this is a great resource for you to look at if you have not watched it before. So I'll try to put this in the description if I remember when editing this video, but definitely go take that video, go take a look at that video. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, YouTube. See you guys later.